so I'm back to answer this question. So the question I was answering from last week was, would he make a good punching bag if he was all tied up? What if he was tied up and hung horizontally at your face height? Listen, let me just say, would he make a good punching bag? Anyone who has done you harm or done you wrong would make a good punching bag. It's up to you to take the opportunity to do so. When I say to do so, to use them as a punching bag. I can only assume that when you say he, you're referring to my employer who would have approached me inappropriately, right? Yeah, he would make a good punching bag because I would be upset. I would be just completely pissed off, So I guess in that moment I'm pissed off and he's standing there and I'm fussing with him. I may take a few blows at his groin, especially if he's right in my face. Like if his groin is right in my face, right in my area, and he's at punching height, then yeah, I would take the opportunity and punch his penis out. I would take shots at his groins. And at that point, the way he's hanging, I think the best thing to do would be to use my hands. So whatever I can do with my hands, meaning squeeze his groins, his crotch area, punch him in the crotch, flick his nuts. I could whip it. I can do all kinds of different things with it. So yeah, I guess he would make a good punching bag if I choose to use him as that. As hard as heck to say. So in a nude MMA/UFC fight, but with legal groin shots, who would win? Why and how? So being that you didn't specify a size, so in my advantage, I'm going to say he's a small guy. He's about my size or smaller. So I have some advantage. So I'm thinking, that maybe I would have the advantage. So I'm going to make this, scenario in my favor, so that, he's small like me. Well, small like I was when I was a 00, and we're about the same height. So he's much bigger than I am. So in this situation, we're both nude. I can punch him in the groin. I think that while there are several spots, right, on a woman's body that if you hit them in that region, you punch them, kick them, whatever, hit them with certain objects in that particular region, it would hurt a lot more than if you hit them in other areas, right? For men, that's the groin, right? So I think that in comparison, no matter where on a woman's body you would kick her, especially at his size, right? I don't think it would hurt as much as when a guy is kicked in the groin. And to me, when I think about it, I think that may be like a shocking pain, right? I think that pain might be shocking, right? So there isn't, the only place on our body where we may feel a slight shocking pain can almost compare to that. In our groin area, if you kick us in that area, because of that bone right there, if we bump into something that hurts like mad crazy, let me tell you. But either way, if we're punching and kicking at the nuts, all we have to do is get him down first. And the best way, like I've always said, to get a man down, it's a big curse, to get a man down on his knees is to kick him in the nuts. And if those are naked nuts, that's definitely going to hurt a lot more. The friction between your feet, although you're not going to be wearing shoes, right? So how hard is that kick? Either way, it's still going to hurt. Friggin' sticky, sweaty skin. All I can think about is me kicking this dude in his nuts, right? And we're both naked. And my feet touch his nuts, and his nuts are all sweaty. So when I kick him, right, it's like his penis kind of sticks to the bottom of my foot. And when I pull it away, there looks to be like a stretch, like cheese when you pull it apart, because the skin is now so sticky now, So when the two come into contact, the bottom of my foot or my foot and his, or even my fist and his naked penis, like that would create, like, I don't know why, that's not important, but when I visualize it, I see that happening. You're grossing me out, okay? Because you're putting yourself on me. I don't want yourself on myself, okay? I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in kicking your ass. So, like I said, the best way, get him down first on the floor. Make sure that he stays down by continuing to kick him in the groin, because you should always be consistent. And do what you can. There are no weapons there, so you can't pick anything up and hit him with it. You have to use your hands, your fists. You have to slap at it, you have to grab at it, stuff like that, in order to get any good blows in, right? Okay, so the next question: how big were the biggest balls you have ever seen live? And how big are the ones you have ever seen? How big were the ones you have seen, but that were not disease related? I haven't really seen any abnormally large sized balls. My hair's a freaking mess today. I just don't know why I came out of public, to tell you the truth. Anyway, so they weren't too big. The only thing I can think about is, and I've mentioned this to you before, that the only thing I can think about are the balls, right? The crocodile balls. And the only reason I feel like it was kind of big is because, right? It's because it was like it was one ball, right? So when you consider that, you think about it, look about one ball. If those were separated, it wouldn't have looked so big. So the size of those were like maybe a little smaller than my fist, right? And that's the combination of the two together, because I never seen them like separately. There's no separation between the two. This particular guy that I'm talking about, I feel like I need to specify it. The biggest balls that were not related to disease, or that were not diseased, I don't think I've ever seen any diseased balls. However, like I said, those were the largest balls I'd seen. I don't think they were diseased. There was a family member of mine who had the gout, elephantitis, I think it was, but I've never seen it naked. I don't know what that looks like, apart from on pictures. So there's that. So next question: you talk about women defending themselves in rape scenarios a lot. How would you fight off this guy if he manages to corner you in an alley? I guess in the alley he would have clothes on, number one, and in an alley I would have access to maybe like a stick or something. I'd probably switch him down with a stick, although a stick is different than a switch. A switch stings more. Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to the last scenario. I mean, I would do what I can. I just don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over again, because the same moves, only so many things you can do per nuts, kick them, punch them. And if I don't have any weapons, really, then that's all I can do, apart from if I pick up a stick and switch them down or something like this. Anyway, these questions should be taken lightly and in the funniest way possible. So, moving right along. In my comments, I can't remember what your name is, I received a question in my comments asking if I have ever gotten into an accident. And of course, I assume you mean if I've ever gotten into an accident while making these videos. No, I have never gotten into an accident while making these videos. I try to be as cautious as I possibly can. I always try to be as cautious as I possibly can. All of my mirrors pointing in the right direction. All my mirrors actually installed. And so I try to, in the Bahamas, traffic, people drive like fuckers, like idiots on the street. They do not follow any laws. They say it's laid back here. I don't care for the laid back type of freaking lifestyle. It's annoying, because then what are you getting done? It's very backward. That pisses me off a lot. But they like to say it's we're island people, we're laid back. And I don't think you should be laid back in business and laid back in situations where it could be life-threatening. And on the road, driving on the road could be life-threatening, right? And people drive like maniacs, and so that makes you have to try to be as cautious as you possibly can to make sure that not that you're running into somebody, that no one is running into you, because all of that is possible. You know what I mean? And all of that happens here. I know that happens other places, but all of that happens. And so over here, I like to say you have to drive for everyone on the street, not just for yourself. And so I have to be as cautious as I possibly can. And so, no, I thankfully, thank God, let's rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Let's not speak that into existence. But I have not gotten into an accident while doing these videos. However, I have been in accidents before. One was my fault, two were not. Yeah, so I hope that answered your question. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging with me for this short amount of time. You know, my video got deleted again, and so I'm sorry. I will be back to answer another few questions for you guys next week. My weeks have been absolutely crazy, but I'm trying to keep it consistent, like every week, even if I miss the actual day, which is usually like Thursday evening, which turns out to be early Friday morning, like 2 o'clock or something, 3 o'clock, sometimes like that. But thank you guys for hanging with me. Send your requests. I do have loads more requests. I do know that, you know, my girls absolutely loved the me and Emily prank video. Thank you guys for loving that. I still have some persons to respond to. I'm not ignoring anyone, guys. I'm just really just trying to get through all of my emails in an orderly fashion, but also to respond when I open emails, or I like to be able to respond fully, you know. So but don't worry, girlies and guys, I will be right there with you, and next week I will have another video. So take care. Love you guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the button. Which side is it? It's probably over here. Or is it over here? I don't know. You see a YouTube button right there? Click that YouTube button. Then you can just subscribe right there to my channel. Remember to also press the notification bell and send me an email request to the email right down here. Take care, guys. Deuces.